Good morning. It's Thursday morning. It's November 2nd, and I woke up in like kind of a bad mood today. I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't know, not feeling it today. I think I'm just really, really ready for a break from school. And I know, like, in my mind that the next 2 weeks are going to be like not easy weeks. Like, I have parent conferences. And then next week I'm going to be like prepping for conferences, and then they start on Thursday, and then the following week I'll have conferences like every day of the week pretty much. So we don't do, I know some schools do like, they just take off a full, maybe not even a full day, I don't know, but maybe like a full day of school, and then they have all their conferences in one day, whereas we do like minimum days every day for like a week. And then we have conferences like before school, after school. So I'm trying to get all my kids in on 3 days. We have 5 days total, and I'm trying to fit them all in on 3 days so that I can have extra time. Just because I like to do them back to back. It's just easier for me. Like, I don't like having like 45 minutes, say, between conferences, because then I feel like I get thrown off. Like, I'd rather just do them back to back to back to back to back. So, I'm trying to do that. I did use Sign Up Genius this time to schedule my conferences, and I haven't had every parent sign up, so I'm trying to figure out what to do for the parents that haven't. Like, I'm just going to assign them a time, but if a parent goes on to Sign Up Genius and tries to pick that time, I'm going to have to take that time off because I already assigned it to someone. So I didn't really think about that before doing the Sign Up Genius. So that's something that I need to figure out. But I do have PE today. I think the reason I feel like off today is just I got home, I made dinner, and I sat on the couch and worked until I went to bed I finally closed my laptop at like 10:15, and then I went to bed at 10:30. So I sat there for like 15 minutes and watched some Friends. I had the TV going the whole time, and I was like just sitting on the couch, but I was like working the entire time, so I feel productive. I got 2 weeks of my grammar PowerPoints done for my team. So now I'm good for next week and the week after. And then that'll be perfect, because then we'll have Thanksgiving break. And so I won't actually need another one for a little bit still. I organized my Google Drive a little bit, like all my Wonder stuff. I organized in 2 folders better than it was. Then what else did I do? Oh, I got all my I shouldn't say all my writing grades, but I got a lot of my writing grades done. There's a couple that I want to re-look at their writing from yesterday that's up on the wall. There's a few of them that like I knew weren't like I remember what they looked like, and they weren't like worthy. That's not the right word. They weren't like worth a 4 or anything. So I kind of knew about where they were supposed to be, but there's a couple that I could not quite remember. And then I redid all of the reading grades that I had messed up the other day. So I got all that done. So the only thing I have left, I think, on my report cards is math grades, which math grades are pretty simple. I was kind of waiting for a couple more quizzes that we're going to take today. We never got to take our quick checks yesterday that we had planned, and I had 2 of them. So now we have just 2. I'm going to do like 10 more, 10 less. Oh, yesterday we did our lesson on 10 more, 10 less, and I had said the day before, like, oh, it's going to be easy, it'll be fine. But the book, like, does it in such a weird way. Like, all the questions are worded, like, off. So it'll say, like, 86 is 10 less than what number? And they see 86 and they see 10 less, and so they assume 76, because they're not, like, understanding what the question's asking, which I get, like, they have to be able to do it in multiple ways, and if they can't do it that way, they probably like, don't know it that well. But they know how to do 10 more, 10 less, but like in that way, it was just confusing. Like, even my highest math kids were getting totally like confused as to what the question was asking. So I had to walk them through it. We only ended up doing about half, so I think today I'm going to do like 10 more, 10 less, like just rotations for 10 more, 10 less. Just this morning I'm going to go in and find probably like some task cards and a game. I was looking a little bit last night, but I think that's what we're going to do this morning. And then I have PE, so I'm going to work on report cards then. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. I am doing homework club lunch today because I'm going to meet with my team tomorrow, because normally I do it on Fridays, but I am going to do it today. I only have a handful of kids that made it into homework club, but I'm thinking that this time homework club lunch, the other kids seeing it will persuade the other ones to start putting more effort in to homework. And then once I have parent conferences, I'm going to be talking about that, because I have a lot of kids that are not finishing homework complete like all the way. So yeah, so I will see you guys at some point today, and I hope everyone has a good day. Alright, so it is about 4:45 and I'm just sitting here eating a sucker, butterscotch sucker. And I've been working on report cards, and I figured I'd take a break to talk to you guys about my day. So I'm almost done with my report card comments. I went through and did all the boys just because it sounds silly, but it's actually not silly at all. It makes the most sense. We just did like a standard comment. I think I said that like a couple vlogs ago. My team, like, we just made a comment like outline, and then we basically are just like plugging everything in like in regards to that particular student. So like their reading grade, their test grades, and their like skills that they're working on, kind of thing. But it has like he, she, his, her kind of thing. And so I did all the boys in the class first, and then now I'm going back through and doing all the girls. But I have more boys than I do girls in the class. And then I'm already on G for girls. So making progress. Shouldn't take me too much longer. I'm going to finish that before I go home today. And then the only thing I have left on the report cards will be, I guess, just my math grades. I think so. And actually the math should be pretty simple, because my kids are rocking it at math this year for the most part, except for the lesson that we did yesterday. Oh, I know I talked about that this morning, the 10 more 10 less thing, but it was still like, it was a struggle today, and went over it again. We like did it again, and they understand it when you say like 10 less than 59 is, they can all pretty much tell you, like, I literally think every kid in my class could tell you 49, but the book words it like 49 is 10 less than what number, or like 10 less than blank, and they keep wanting to do like 10 less than 49, so they want to write 39 when technically it should be 59. So I don't know, it definitely like stretched their critical thinking skills about that, because it was a rough one. So I had them take the quiz from that lesson today to kind of get a judge of like where they were, and then I'll just have to kind of decide. I guess when I do test prep for this test, like the topic 5 test, I'll just spend like all my test prep on that lesson, because everything else that they've done in this chapter has been like so easy. So I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of how math went today. I had PE, so our language arts time was only like 45 minutes, and so we took a pre-test for contractions, because contractions are one of the things that we'll be learning this trimester, because our new trimester just started, new trimester starts next week, and so we're trying to get some pre-tests in so we can get some data to kind of see where they're at, and then to see if that's something that we even need to worry about teaching, because yesterday we took our compound words quiz and like almost every single one of my kids got 100%, so not something I really need to take my time with. Contractions, on the other hand, we kind of bombed it, so, but I kind of expected that, because if you like don't know contractions very well, and like the ones that we had were pretty tough, so I kind of expected it. So anyway, we did that. After lunch, we did our literacy centers, like the usual. I was having an issue with kids, like, they would not leave me alone at my table. Like, every time I would look up, I'd have another kid standing there like, I need help. I'm like, you guys, I have to sit down and read with my group. So I got to 3 reading groups, technically 4 if you count one of my students, because I read with them by themselves just because they're on a different level and it just doesn't work out. So I do read with them by themselves, and so I technically, I guess, read with 4 groups, but really it was only 3. So other than that, my theory of moving the seats around in the room totally worked because I didn't have anyone argue today about where they were gonna sit, and it was great. So that worked. Before I go, I will show you guys kind of my plan for tomorrow for what's it called? Our magnet and like gravity experiments. They're super quick experiments that we're gonna be doing. But I'll show you guys kind of what I had prepared for that. And then I don't know if I ever showed you the notes that we'll be taking for that. I don't know. I'll show you either way. So I'm going to finish these up. I took my break and now I'm ready to go back to work. So I will catch up with you guys before I go home. Okay, so before I pack up to go home, I was going to show you guys what we were doing. So we have our essential question up at the top, which is how do Earth's forces affect us? Let me fix my camera for a second. I don't know why it's all blurry. Okay. What did you learn about gravity during the reading this week? And so I learned that, and then they're going to be doing this with a group of like 3 kids. And then they're going to do an experiment, and I'm going to drop things at the same time, and they're going to, figure out that they drop and they hit at the same time. And so we'll go into like, do things fall at the same speed? What conclusion can you make about gravity? And then what they kind of discovered with that experiment. I'm going to lead this experiment. On the backside kind of focuses more on magnets. So what did you learn about magnets during reading this week? After experimenting with your magnets, so I'm just going to have, and I'll show you guys in a second, but I'm going to have a bucket with just like a bunch of weird stuff, and they can see if it's magnetic or not, and then I have magnets for them to use. And then, so they'll say like which things were magnetic, which things were not. And then this is kind of like almost a way for them to like think about what they've learned and then like use that knowledge, I guess. So something that they think would be magnetic and then why they think that. So then that's the first part. So they'll get this done, and then once they get this done, and they're going to use like, these are our notes from this week, our 3-column notes from when we were reading our story. So they have 3 stories to kind of look back at. This is a magnet story. This was a story about gravity, and then this one is just about pushes and pulls and forces, so that one doesn't really go with it as much. But this is their actual activity. So it's a Avid 1-pager, and so they have their checklist of things that has to be on it. So it needs to have like 1 fact describing magnets, a drawing about magnets, 1 fact describing gravity, a drawing about gravity, and then 1 more thing that they learned about Earth's forces this week, which they could pull from that last story. And then the whole page has to be colored. There's no white. And they have to have the essential question and stuff. And so this is like their outline for that. And if you've never like seen an Avid 1-pager, this is kind of like the gist of it. So, so they draw their picture, and then they have like the information that needs to go on there, and they can kind of put it on there however they want to. Obviously in like upper grades, this becomes like a lot more informational, but with us it's, a lot more pictures and stuff just because we're little. So yeah, that's kind of that. And then there's stuff that's supposed to go in the border. I know there's like specific things that are supposed to go. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I even tried to look in the Avid book today to figure that out, and I couldn't find that information. So here's my bucket of things that I'm going to be dropping. I tried to find things that are like obviously different weights. So I have that, and then I have like foam dice in there too. So that's for my station. And then the station with the magnets, I put like mason jar, ring, binder clip, clothespin, a marker, some scissors, and then a bucket that is magnetic. Or that's metal, I should say. And then they're also going to, I used this from my neighbor teacher, and they are, I don't know what they're actually called, but we got it with our 21st Century Learning Grant. He just has this, and I didn't get any of these. We all just share it all. So it has all these pieces, and they're just like magnetic, and then I thought it was kind of cool because they, whoops, okay, they can play with these after they're done, or they could even use it as like their magnet if they wanted to. Why is this? Okay. So if they put these ones together, they can see like the north and the south going together, and then if they try and put those ones, they can see that they don't want to touch. So I figured they could kind of play with that a little bit. And because I only have a couple magnets that I was going to have them use, but I figured these they could totally use as like the same thing. Only thing is, let me grab mine and show you. Okay, so the ones that I have, the one thing I like about them is that they have the south and the north labeled, and one of them's obviously like red, and then the other one is silver, and so then they can actually see like a better visual of putting the south and the south together and how they don't want to go together. But if I put the red and the silver together, they go just fine. And then same thing if I, oh wait, why does that go together? What? I thought that, everything I've ever learned. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that one's not right or something. Let's see. Oh no, that one works. I don't know, I'm so confused. So we might just end up using these ones tomorrow because that kind of is a little bit easier. And these ones are like way stronger magnets than these other ones, I feel like. So anyway, and these are actually super cool because they can like, I mean, if we get done early, like maybe, but you can build with them. Like how fun. I kind of just want to play with them. So anyway, I'm going to pack up to go home. I got all my, I haven't done my smelling test. I need to film my smelling test. So, I guess I'll bring my, I'll bring my Chrome home and just do it at home, I guess, because I don't want to stay any longer. Although I should just do it. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna go figure my life out and get myself situated. So, I'll catch up with you guys when I get home today. So, I'm still here, and it's 5:40. But I did my spelling test, I did my comprehension test, I did everything. Oh, I forgot I had all of these in their literacy folders that I had to take out and staple. And let me just tell you, before I cleaned up literacy centers today, I told the kids you had 2 jobs. 1, put all your literacy papers from the week, because everything from the week like stays in that folder. Put it all on one side, put your checklist on top, and then all I have to do is grab all the papers, staple, and then we're good. And put your name on it. So I guess, sorry, that was like 3 jobs. You know how many kids still did not have their name on their checklist, even though they've had their checklist every day this week? Drives me crazy. 1 week. 1 week we will learn. It's just not going to be this week. So, I was trying to figure out what to title this vlog today, and I realized what a bad mood I was like in this morning, and I totally got out of that bad mood. But I realized like on my way here that, because I keep like getting down on myself about just like random things. I'll be like, oh, I didn't eat like a healthy dinner last night, and then I'm like, wow, I'm like, that's so unhealthy, and I'm mad at myself for doing that, or like whatever, or like, oh, I didn't work out this morning and now I'm so mad at myself because I didn't do it. And I kind of had to like sit back and remind myself that like it doesn't matter that much sometimes. Like I get mad at myself for silly things and like I get down on myself about it, but it like doesn't really matter. And so I think I got in the mood this morning where I just was like grumpy, and I don't know, and I realized on the way here like I just can't be like that. Like there was no reason to be like that. And so yeah, I fixed my own behavior. I fixed my attitude, and I turned it into a growth mindset. So I ended up having a pretty good day. Just had to like stay on top of my kids a lot. But I'm also in the mood of like, I want a break, and tomorrow's Friday, and I don't think I've said this week, but I do have a PD on Saturday, which means I'm going to be there at 8 a.m. until noon. So that's kind of like a not easy, but not a relaxing day. Like, I get to relax afterward, but I still will have to be up early, and so, I mean, I just need a break. And October was a really long month. It actually like went by quickly, but like in terms of how many days you're at school, like October is a very long month. But I survived, and I'm just in that, like, I don't want to do report cards, and I don't want to do conferences, and I just want a break, but that's not what's going to happen. So I have to have a growth mindset about it. So if you're feeling that way too, like, I encourage you to not feel that way, because you can't be down on yourself. Like, I need to stop being negative towards myself and think of the positives. So I also say stuff like that. I'll be like, oh, I ate like kind of an unhealthy salad today. Like, I had ranch on my salad or something. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot worse things I could be having in the world than ranch on my chicken salad. Like, so I just need to stop being down on myself. And I think that's what I'm going to title this vlog. Like, having a growth mindset, which I don't know if that's necessarily having a growth mindset, having a positive mindset. Like, the world will still turn. Like, I tell my kids, like, there's more important things in the world than what you guys are arguing about right now. So that's my takeaway from the day. Before I go home, because I still have not showed you my outfit, and I never showed you guys my outfit yesterday, but that's great. I have this just like a cream v-neck on today, which, yeah. And then I have this jacket, which is like one of the, I don't know what you call them, like trench? No, not trench coat. I don't know, like an army style jacket, I guess, army green, I don't know. And then I've just got jeans on, and then my boots, because I wear these boots, these brown boots, like every day during the colder time. So you will see these in like all my outfits. And I'm also wearing a headband today, but it's really hurting my head. Like, I keep messing with it because it's hurting. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack up to go home. And I also, like, I lost those copies yesterday, and I realized that I stopped looking for them, and I realized this afternoon I never found them. So I have no idea, and it was so stupid, because that was me, like, trying to get ahead, because they were for not next week, but the week after, and I was trying to get ahead, and then I went and lost them. Oh, wait, no. It wasn't the week ahead. It was next week's copies, because I have this week's copies, and then I copied those ones and the other ones, and it's the ones for next week that I don't know. I can't find them. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And I actually don't think I'm going to vlog when I get home, because I think this vlog's already getting pretty long today because I've been rambling. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. It's a good day. Be positive, and I will try and be positive with you. So I hope everyone had a good day, and I hope you weren't as negative as I was this morning when you woke up. I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, the button somewhere, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. How many times did I say I will see you tomorrow? I will really see you tomorrow.